a Tooka on 51st. Body down.
I'm right here kicking on Lil Mark. Dirty. Damn. Marky.
That's why I always bump heads. So I see them, I'll beat on one of their.
Yeah.
Cause I'm tired of seeing y'all. Why y'all say coming over here? Y'all know I'm over here. Now y'all trolling like y'all just, okay, beat your ass. Beat your man's ass. All right. They catch me locking up a couple days, jump out, beat my ass. You feel me? That's what comes with this shit.
Yeah. But how come lie? So if you and Duck locked in, you wasn't on some like, bro, don't be bringing them niggas around when I'm around here.
I can't do that. How can I tell this nigga that when the nigga Lil Mark is Tooka brother?
I ain't know that.
How can I tell him that? This is Tooka bro.
What was your relationship like with Lil Mark?
That's my boy. that's my guy. That's my boy, Mark Block, RP Brody.
Do you have any stories you could share about him?
Say it again.
Do you have any stories you could share about him?
Same as Melly. Good individual. I love bro. If you ask me about any of my fallen stars, it's basically gonna be the same response because we feel no different from each other. We feel the same. Like we love each other, we care for each other, and we'll do anything for each other. Like even if it's bad or good, we'll do anything for each other. We'll break our neck for each other.
January 12, 2011, the life of a Chicago native and rapper by the name of Mark Campbell, aka Lil Mark, changed forever.
Yeah, I was seasoning the chicken. I'm telling him, come on home, son. So that's all I'm waiting for is my son to come through this door so I give him a hug and feed him real good. And we're going to talk about his match. Somebody else had other plans. The detective called me. He say, is you somebody's mama? And I'm like, yeah, that's my son because he had the note inside his pants pocket that was sending him home. He said, well, we want to call you and let you know there's been a shooting and he's been involved.
It was the day that he lost his brother Shondell Gregory, aka Tooka, to the violent streak of gang feuds in the city. The turf rivalry was only on the incline with every murder that occurred. The anger and pain that triggered the need for vengeance only resulted in more anger and pain that further corroded the minds of the youth. Friends were left with grief, families were torn apart, and mothers were left with tears and a hole in their heart.
My son, laying on that cold ass ground. I knew I gotta get over there to be with my son. It hadn't even dawned on me that he was dead.
Lil Mark was about to become a rising statistic just like his brother. He was associated with a gang set that went by the name 051YM, aka 051 Young Money, and his actions in support of the gang feud with rival areas came to a heavy price: his life. On March 25th, 2014, Lil Mark would go on to release a music video for a diss record aimed at a slew of his rivals. Within the video, Lil Mark can be seen accompanied with others holding firearms, while targeting his rivals with disrespectful lyrics that mock the lives of their friends that have passed. Lil Mark went on to musically describe the gruesome way in which his rivals were killed in a manner to brag and taunt those still living. To place things in perspective of how many Lil Mark offended within the song, within his lyrics he took aim at gang sets spanning across OTF, 600, Lamron, 300, and O Block. In doing so, he also placed an enormous target on his back. His decision to step into the line of fire by releasing the song will become a mistake he soon regret. Many feared his life was in danger not only due to dissing so many other rival sets, but also him including a particular footage into the music video. At a point in the song, Lil Mark shows himself on a FaceTime call with a Chicago native known as Lil Reese.
What y'all on? Alright. That AO shit. Uh-huh. What up? Out here. I'm on fast, boy. I been out here. I stay out here, boy.
The significance of this is that the call wasn't a friendly one, but one between rivals. And Lil Reese was widely given the sinister alias, the Grim Reaper, a name he proudly depicts on his skin. It's often seen that everybody who disrespected him went on to be targeted, found, and murdered. Not only that, but this gang member has become something of a myth, as no matter how many times they tried to take his life, he survives.
Just confirming, a popular Chicago rapper was shot this afternoon in the south suburbs.
Tavares Taylor, better known as Lil Reese, is in critical condition this hour at Advocate Christ Medical Center with a gunshot wound in the neck. WGN's Tom Negevin is there live with our report tonight. Tom?
Right, you know, Joe and Micah, witnesses say the rapper was targeted by a gunman who pursued him through traffic, opening fire with a small rifle at a busy intersection in Country Club Hills. Skycam over the large crime scene late this afternoon. Traffic snarled around 167th and Pulaski. The victim's bullet-riddled Jeep Grand Cherokee still in the road, surrounded by police who tell WGN they arrived to find fresh blood in and around the SUV, but no victim. Someone had already taken him to South Suburban Hospital in nearby Hazel Crest, bleeding badly from a gunshot wound to the neck. He was treated and transferred. People nearby report hearing a long volley of gunshots, as many as 12, and say the shots sounded like they were getting closer.
After the shots, car crash.
And just a few minutes after that, police and paramedics, including locals say officers armed with long rifles, searching nearby parking lots for the gunman.
You never know what can happen or where that person is hiding.
What they didn't know is the man had already fled northbound in what witnesses describe as a white or gray Chevy Malibu with tinted windows and Wisconsin plates. As police did their search, some businesses locked down, workers sheltering in place.
And we're actually locked up on the doors. A few minutes after that, the police were coming up and down here looking for, anybody that was involved, and they had their guns out, so the whole plaza ended up locking up the doors for safety.
Again, 26-year-old Tavares Taylor, better known as rapper Lil Reese, in critical condition here tonight with a single gunshot wound to the neck. Police still searching for the man who shot him. Live at Advocate Christ Medical Center in Oak Lawn, Tom Negevin, WGN News.
From being shot in the neck to bullets piercing through his back to being left bloody on the brink of death, he somehow comes back and exacts revenge. Lil Mark came at him, no Diddy, and his affiliations in full swing, knowing the repercussions, and it soon became reality. 3 days after the release of the music video on March 28, 2014, Lil Mark was about to lose his life. The sun shining down at midday followed a alive and breathing Lil Mark as he made his movements through the day. Never would he have thought what was about to occur.
Out here about rates out. I don't see these niggas. On me.
1 p.m. arrived and Lil Mark made the decision to head to the bus stop at 300 block of East 56th Street in the city's Bronzeville neighborhood. The first assumption is that his intention was to await the arrival of the bus. If that was the case, it was increasingly dangerous given the lifestyle he lived. Being in the open in that manner left much room for rivals to locate and carry out whatever retaliation they plotted. That, in fact, was exactly the situation that followed. At this point, assailants were either telling him or were informed of his location. At around 1:25 p.m., an eyewitness that was also at the bus stop stated that he was standing behind the assailant as he saw him approach from the back of Lil Mark, aiming a handgun with an extended clip and firing at the 20-year-old. The witness, fearing for his life, ran for cover before being able to see the shooter's face. Reports state that the assailant escaped in a silver minivan with Florida license plates and fled north then west. Later that day around 6:30 p.m., the minivan was found abandoned in flames in the 3700 block of South Ellis Avenue. The wound inflicted to the head was fatal, and Mark Campbell, aka Lil Mark, was pronounced dead at the scene at 1:41 p.m. An official autopsy listed the cause of death as a gunshot wound to the head, and his death was ruled a homicide. His life tragically came to an end as his lifeless body lay among broken glass in the wake of what just occurred. The scene soon became crawling with officers, bordering off the crime scene, with one lone body laying covered in front of a bus shelter with a white blanket. As officers marked the scattered shell casings about the region, onlookers were forced to look at the sight of another young man losing his life to gun violence. The heartbreak echoed through the tears and mourning as they encamp about the crime scene. With Lil Mark being a victim to many other shootings that occurred that day, Pacheco, a police spokesperson, hinted that investigators were looking into the possibility that his murder was related to another incident about an hour earlier in 5100 block of South Emerald Avenue, in which a 25-year-old man was shot in the thigh.
Here you go. Just record. This gonna be a hit song, man. You go in and shit.
On Inverse, his rivals seemed rather certain of what actually transpired and who was responsible. They took to the internet to voice their pleasure in seeing Lil Mark murdered after he disrespected their affiliates that passed. One such rival, known under the alias Rondo No. 9, shared a photo of Lil Mark lying at the crime scene with a caption that acted as a warning for anyone else who disses his slain friend L.A. Capone. Others, like OTF founder Lil Durk, went as far as going to the bus stop where he was murdered and sarcastically mocking how the bus stop became famous.
Bus stop, man. Hey, this bus stop right here, though. This a real famous place. You hear me? This is a real famous place, B. Hey, this bus stop, this is a real famous place, B. I ain't gonna lie to you. You know what I'm saying? Free my nigga team.
What's more significant and heartbreaking about his passing is that his brother Tooka was also targeted the same way while at a bus stop in 63rd and St. Lawrence in the Woodlawn neighborhood in Southside Chicago. It was almost as if the shooters were enjoying crafting the sick plot to end their lives in the same manner as brothers. The disrespect to Lil Mark continued to flow, from other rivals visiting his death site, mocking his death online, and disrespecting his passing in multiple songs.
Those cause you know. The Stowe Brothers? Goni now? The Bus Stop Brothers? Puffo?
Eventually, names began calling throughout the underground street community as to who may have been responsible, and particular names stood out. Allegedly, the ones who had a hand to play in carrying out Lil Mark's murder went by the names D Rose, THF Twilla, 5 Star, T Roy, and King Von. King Von, on his verse for a song titled For a Fact by Sim Santana, rapped the lines referencing Lil Mark's homicide. Caught that boy right by that bus, that's his last stop. Tracing back to tweets on the day Lil Mark was murdered revealed something startling. D Rose posted he was outside with King Von, T Roy, and his affiliates, to which King Von replied confirming they were outside and in traffic. What became even more suspicious were their posts after the murder. King Von on that same day went on to post a number of tweets, but the two that stood out the most were him stating "Die Y man, Die Y," being a diss to Lil Mark's gang 051. Then his other post referencing Lil Mark's headshot stating 051 better keep their head up. Both posts followed with numerous laughing emojis. The following day, D Rose also tweeted a very direct message about the murder, hinting at the fact that he had a hand to play. He said, quote unquote, "I'm going in, no problem. Ain't gotta ask who shot him." But that wasn't all. THF Twilla also posted a picture of him at the bus stop mocking Lil Mark's passing. Sometimes life gives warnings, but Lil Mark didn't heed his. His lifestyle led him down the same path as his brother, and both became statistics to the growing and continued feuds destroying the youth. At the time of his passing, Lil Mark had a girlfriend who was carrying his child. His murder meant yet another innocent child would grow up without a father. Rest in peace, Lil Mark. Alright, y'all. There y'all have it, man. It's the murder of Lil Mark. Hey, yo, drillers and trappers, trappers and drillers. Y'all already know what the drill is. On the road to 31K. Let's get it, man. Hey, definitely want to thank y'all for that support. Don't go nowhere, man. Just watch that next video. Gang!